Okay, so welcome back to Real Chill Conversations. We have Brenna in the building. Oh, this
Hey,
way. We have Mr. Bruno. Thank you for joining Real Chill Conversations today. And Sean, Mr. West.
Thank you
Thank
for
you for
having me.
also joining us tonight. And we have one more person, so if he comes in, I'll let him in.
all
But
right.
today, I wanted to personally talk about Father's Day being one of the least celebrated holidays. And I think we all know that. So I feel like fathers are definitely not represented enough. And I want to get y'all opinion on that. I'll start with you, Mr. West. I'm glad we have some men in the room.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be glad to start it out. So my thing is this: it's about phasing the black man out of the family dynamic, and there's a reason why. Okay, so if I want to victimize, then what I'm going to do is move the hardest problem out of the way. So our women are getting this false sense of security from society that they don't need a man. Society is giving them good jobs. They're taking the jobs that the men used to have, not taking, but they're being given the jobs that men used to have. And women are being given this false sense of security, so much so that they think they don't need a man. Okay. Now, if I wanted to pillage and rape and victimize, it's easier to do that to the woman and the child when I get the man out the way. That's some of the reason why Father's Day isn't celebrated much
So, do you
because
feel like, based on what you're saying, I'm sorry, do you feel like the system has made it that way where now it's impossible for men to be celebrated as fathers?
yes, I mean, yes, that's part of it, and that's the only way a man is going to get celebrated as father is if the individuals decide to do it on their own. But going by the masses in society, they're going to X the black man out. They're going to get him out the picture, and they want to get him out the picture and get the women with a false sense of security. Women, you don't need a man until you need a man. You get what I'm saying? You think you don't need him until the time comes where you need him. And the way this world is going, women and children are much easier to be victimized if there's no man around. So the man's value is being decreased to where he's obsolete. He doesn't even matter. And again, false sense of security is coming through the jobs that women are getting that men used to have. Right? They're getting finances, they're getting titles, they're owning their own businesses, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm a girl dad, and I'm going to preach black girl power from now on. I'm a girl dad, but not so much so to the black man doesn't matter. But again, women and children, and this is history repeating itself. Okay, understand, I'm not just pulling this out the air. History is repeating itself. When the black man is out of the family, the women and the children are more easily victimized, dominated, and controlled. And not honoring fathers on Father's Day is just another way to lessen the value of the man to make it easier for our women to not need us, so to speak.
So
Okay.
do you think that it's just a complete slap in the face to be completely ignored on Father's Day, to not be acknowledged by the people that are in your family? Like, let's say you have a child, and whether or not you're with that child's mother, if you're not still in a relationship with that person or whatever, do you still expect to get some kind of acknowledgement from them? And do you also expect to get acknowledgement from your other family members acknowledging you for your greatness as being a dad?
I think that it should be afforded to every man. Okay, now it's one day out the year. It's one day out the year. And even if he's not the best dad in the world, even if he made some bad choices, but still in all, it's one day. Acknowledge him, and then guess what? What message does that send to the children if he's not honored or recognized or acknowledged? And what if one of the children happened to be a man child? Now, here's a little man child growing up one day, going to be a father probably, but he's growing up seeing his own dad not being honored, not being respected. So, it's a combination of things. It's layered. So, one cause and effect is like a domino being pushed down. So, here you got the children. They're not seeing their dads honored on Father's Day. and God forbid that, again, one of those children happened to be a man child, and he has to grow up to be a man and a father one day, what does that put in his head moving forward? You know
I
what I
get
mean?
that, because you do want to set that respect, whether the dad is not doing anything, or whether, you know, he's not like the real dads, how people call it. You know what I'm saying? You still want to build that respect, because when your
Yeah.
child grow up, especially boys, when they grow up, they're gonna be seeing that. So, you know, they're gonna be disrespectful at some point towards their father. And my dad was my real father. He was not in my life, you know. We kept in touch, but he was not in my life. But till this day, I do respect him, and I have that respect for him because my mom, you know, she instilled that in me.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Bruno, we want to know your opinion.
Look, as we all know, if you watch TV anytime in the past 40, 50, 70 years, we know dad normally gets on Father's Day a tie and some crummy card. And I hate to say crummy because it's from your child, handwritten card, and that's it. Like, we've known for years that dads have been set to the side. It's all about mom. And we all love mom. But yeah, dads deserve, we deserve a break, because if you're a real father, you know that you're there for everything. Soccer coach, you out at football practice, you're making sure cleats are paid for, you're there for school, you're reading, you're doing the homework with them. If they're having a problem, they got to learn how to, regardless of the fact, as a man, you got to learn how to fight. You got to teach them. They go out there and they have problems at school. The teacher, just a real father is there. A real father shows up at the school meeting. A real father is going to be a father. And it's just a normal job. For a man, that's just a part of being a man. You provide, you protect, you do what's necessary as the man of the house. And
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish.
oh no, go ahead.
Now, I was just going to say, I just wonder the impact that it has on fathers that are now fathers, but didn't have their fathers in their lives and didn't have a specific male role model, a specific male figure in their life to identify as being an example of a good dad, how that impacts them and how that affords them and how they feel in terms of, you know, fathers. I know, you know, my husband does not have an ongoing relationship with his dad. So he kind of grew up in a sense without his dad, but he's an awesome father. He's a great dad. I couldn't ask for a better dad for my kids. And my kids actually came to me and said, Mom, what are we doing for dad for Father's Day? And I was like, wow, like they came to me and asked me, what are we doing for dad for Father's Day? Instead of me going to them, I was going to go to them and say, hey, this is what we're going to do for daddy for Father's Day. But they came to me and asked, hey, what are we doing for dad for Father's Day? And I just think that it's, you know, I think it's a challenge and it's difficult if you're a man that grows up without a father and you don't have that male figure in your life to kind of show you and guide you what it means to be a great dad. But those that can dig in to themselves and pull out being a good dad, regardless of who is in their life or not, I definitely think they, you know, you deserve the flowers, you deserve the acknowledgments, you deserve the balloons, the cake, the socks, the ties, the shirts, the golf clubs, whatever it is that y'all want on Father's Day. Some want to just kick back and relax. Some want to barbecue. Some want to go out. Some want to just, you know, have a good time. However you want to be celebrated. And that's, to me, is what's most important and really what we should acknowledge, you know, for all these great dads that are out here that are doing the damn thing and they're not getting any acknowledgement for it. And I just think that it's a shame that dads don't get as much acknowledgement on their day that mothers do. I think there is an unfair balance, but that has been a precedent that's been set by society, as you were saying, Mr. West.
I would say, coming from a father who didn't have a father, coming from a father who didn't have a father, it makes you go harder. Because the way I look at it is, with my dad not being around, it taught me what I needed to do, because I had to look back at my childhood and be like, well, I wish my dad would have came to my game. I wish my dad would have showed up at school. I wish my dad would have showed up in my band presentation, whatever it may have been. So now for me, it's, I'm going to be there when my son has a soccer game. Matter of fact, I'm his soccer coach. So I'm gonna be there for football. I'm gonna be there for basketball. I'm gonna be there when he gets in trouble. It pushes you to go harder. It doesn't. Now, there are some that go out there and revert and be like, "Well, I never had a dad in my life, so he never taught me."
Right.
We have
Right.
some like that. We have some like that that says, I never had a mom, I never had a dad in my life, so I don't know. And they make that as an excuse. Okay, we know, we feel bad about that, you know, but we can't change that.
Right.
And
No.
you
So
want better for your kids. You should want better for your kids. So if you came up a certain way and you didn't have in your life, you should want to do differently for your own children. You should be able to push through and say, well, I didn't have this as a kid growing up. I don't want my kids to experience the same thing I had. We always, as parents, want our children to have a better life than we had. And we do our best.
exactly.
That's necessary.
It's really about doing the right thing. And most people know what the right thing is. I mean, you know, maybe some people wasn't taught any better, but you know, especially you as a person, you know when it doesn't feel right.
Right.
Absolutely.
That's it. We know that we have examples. I was a band director for 2.5 years. Dealing with those, like I was out there in Talladega. If anybody know about Alabama, I was in Talladega County. Dealing with those kids, you realize you can tell the kids who have a stern father figure in their life between those that don't. You see in the attitude, you see in the way they walk, the way they carry themselves. You watch the ones who mimic their father compared to ones who have mimicked their mother. And that's just raising men. And sometimes it takes that aspect of a stepfather, a male figure that should be there. There needs to be a male figure there to mold him into seeing, okay, this is a good guy, this is a good man. This is what I want to be like when I grow up.
Yeah,
But
there's some excellent stepdads that are out there that are stepping into the role and filling the shoes of the biological father that may not be there for whatever reasons he has or whatever excuses that he has. And I call them excuses because I really don't see any reason legitimately why you should not be there for your child, why you would not want to be there for your child in their life, caring for them, taking care of them, supporting them, guiding them, and doing all the right things. So for those that don't meet that criteria, there certainly are excellent stepdads out there that do want to, you know, fill that role and do a very good job of that as well.
Absolutely. And it seems like fathers are becoming less important, and we look at it, some people look at it in a very negative way. I hear, oh, I'm gonna call my mom for Father's Day and tell her Happy Father's Day. I hear that a lot. I want to know how y'all feel about that. Brenna, I'll start with you.
That hurts. That hurts. That hurts. It's so hurtful. I can't even explain how just reading it, even if it wasn't about me, just seeing that it's hurtful. Like, what are we, nothing? And just sitting here, like, listening to everybody talk, like, okay, recognition of dad at an all-time low doesn't even have anything to do with if he's a good dad or a bad dad. We got excellent dads that still don't get the recognition, you know, still don't. So it's just becoming a norm. I know for years, because of my situation, I wasn't there. And I honestly can say, I hope my baby don't get mad, but I can honestly say I've heard my own daughter make a statement like that or make a post like that. I'm gonna tell my mom Happy Father's Day, you know. And for me, that hurt me.
Yeah.
And I try to understand the mentality in society and all that. I try to understand my absence and all that, and I try to make it make sense. But that doesn't make it hurt any less. I think it's very disrespectful because no matter, you don't hear that about the mothers. Regardless, you don't hear that. You don't hear that. And
Yeah,
so
that's right. I don't hear like, oh, I'm gonna call my dad and say Happy Mother's Day. Cause I mean, you have women too that don't do, you know, some women don't do anything for their kids. And a father, I've seen it. You know,
Yeah.
the father is the one providing and doing everything. And I don't hear that. I don't hear like, oh, let me tell my dad Happy Mother's Day, Happy Father's Day. I don't think nobody can take up the role.
No.
You a father, you a father. If you're a mother and you're a mother. And for
Right.
me personally, I'm not gonna sit here and lie. I can be a dad too.
Right.
'Cause I can.
Right.
There it is.
You'll never hear a dad. You'll never hear a dad support that. You'll never hear a dad support call your dad on Mother's Day, but you'll hear mother support. Oh, call me for Happy Father's Day. You will never hear a dad say that and encourage that, but the mothers will encourage that behavior. Yeah.
And I've done it. I've done it when I was younger. I would go to my mom. I would call my mom on Father's Day and I'd be like, Happy Father's Day, Mom. But as I grew older, I was like, what am I really doing here?
Yeah.
You know, I understood it more and I was able to say, okay, my dad was not in my life, but I still need to respect this man.
Right.
Mhm.
Regardless.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I could never imagine my kids, you know, wishing me a happy Father's Day on Mother's Day when they've got a dad that's right here, that's present, that's been here, you know, since day one for them, going to games, going to meets, going to school, going to activities, picking up, dropping off from school, doing all the dad things and everything else. I would actually, you know, it would hurt my feelings. If that was a conversation that had to happen between me and my kids, if they wanted to wish me a happy Father's Day, because I don't feel that I've earned that role. I don't fit into that role. I'm not your father. I'm your mother. Yes, I gave birth to you and I'm your mom, but I'm definitely not your dad.
And I don't know how to be one. I don't know how to be no dad.
I
can only be a mom, so I try my best.
Now, as
And
a
I'm not a
son,
perfect mom. I mess up a lot of times.
We all do. We all do.
You know what I'm saying? But I can just teach you what mommy does.
Right.
now, as a
Go
son,
ahead, Bruno. I'm
I can
sorry.
literally say, I've done it. I've done it. I said it to my mother because, like I said, my father wasn't there, and I was like, happy Mother's Day or Happy Father's Day. And so I've done it. But like I said, to get older and realize when I became a father, I looked at it and it was like, I actually called my mom and said I was sorry, because to me, I felt like I diminished her role as a mother by throwing on a father title, because I'm not going to say it's harder to be a mother. What I am going to say is the responsibility really does lie on a mom a lot of the time, because they feel as the main nurturer. So I never take away from Mother's Day, because mothers do a lot. Mothers are the close, like I said, Nas said it in a song, the closest thing you get to God is your own mother. That's a fact. That there's no other fact besides that. But as a father, to hear a woman say that or a child say that to a mother is more or less a slap in the face, because you'll never hear a father say, I want to be called for Mother's Day. You're not about to diminish me as a man at all, to not say to push me down to a mother's level, but to go up there and say that I'm feminine in my actions. I can't be. I'm a man. I have to raise men. The saying is, strong men make for easy times. Easy time make for weak men. Weak men make for hard times. And the cycle repeats.
So I have a question. Do you all feel like this is teaching your kids how to be disrespectful to your father?
Sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do. And more than that, let me tell you this. More than that, watch this. It's about how this thing not only affects the father, because it does, but let's be real. I just spoke on how it affects the child. Okay, now watch this. How does it affect the woman who has to masculine herself when the man is X'd out? Now she's already feminine, she's a woman, but she got to play two roles. Now she's being masculine. Now this woman is getting out of her nature. Now, see, when anything goes out of sync of nature, it's a problem. If the sun don't set when it's supposed to, you got a solar eclipse. Like when the hot air mixed with the cold air the wrong way, you got a tornado. So even with humans, now here you have a woman made to be feminine, but has to take on masculine attributes because the father is being disregarded, what does that do to that woman?
Yeah.
See,
Um,
everybody's
I feel
affected.
like a lot of some women, I'm not gonna say a lot, but some women, I understand the concept of, okay, he's not providing, he's not helping, he ain't doing this, he ain't doing that. So why should, you know what I'm saying? Why should we celebrate him for Father's Day? And I get it. Okay, gotta have a good relationship. That's all that it means.
But you
But
shouldn't, I don't think you should lump, I don't think the two should be lumped together. My oldest, we didn't, his father and I did not end up on the best of terms, but I always encouraged him to reach out to his dad on Father's Day. I always encouraged him to make that phone call, to send him a gift, to send him a token of appreciation for being his dad. And that had nothing to do with him and I and the status of our relationship. It all had to do with the fact that he is the father of this child, and your son is going to acknowledge you on Father's Day because you are his dad, whether you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing or not. That's a whole separate conversation. We're just talking about the
Mhm.
celebration of the day and teaching my son to understand that no matter what's going on between mommy and daddy, this is always going to be your dad. Like nothing is going to change that. And you need to let him know that you appreciate him on Father's Day. And that's something that I've never had a problem with. I've never had issue with it. And I could have been petty. I could have been like, oh, he's not doing this. He's not helping with that. He barely sees him. He barely this. He barely that. But I didn't go that route. I took the higher road because I wanted to instill in my child respect and understanding. And I wanted him, since I'm raising a young man, I wanted him to have that dignity and that self-confidence. So when the time comes that he becomes a father, he understands and can appreciate all the things that come with that role of being a dad. And I
I
didn't want to
like
take
that, Brenda.
yeah.
I like that. I'm with that. And I feel like if he really is not providing and really not doing anything for the child, at least you're instilling that in your child. So he's learning how to be a dad when he grows up and he have kids and mama taught you right.
Right.
So it is a difference. I know it's some men out there that don't provide, don't care, walk around here like they don't have kids and stuff. I get it. I know it is. There are some. But it kind of messed it up for the real good dads because there are a lot of real good dads out here.
Yeah.
So just because one person ain't doing what he's supposed to be doing, that doesn't mean fathers don't need their celebration. They do.
Right.
And I feel like, some bad apples mess it up for everybody. And that shouldn't be the case because there's some good ass dads out here.
Yeah, for sure.
I see
Absolutely.
it.
You know what? At the end of the day, guys, it's like that was a good question that you posed. And it's like, why? The dad doesn't do what he should do. So why should we teach our children to celebrate him? Why should we? And it's for the sake of the child and their education in being a man. That's why. The dad might not be doing nothing. And I don't give him no kudos for that. He should do what he should do. But again, if that dad ain't doing what he's supposed to do, he'll get that in the end. That's not for us to really judge. He'll see it in the end. But why? The reason why, even though he's a bad dad, the reason why is to teach that child something and for the sake of the relationship. That's why we do it anyway,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And we do it anyway because, again, we want to teach our children, especially as moms, if we're the ones that are encouraging the relationship and encouraging the acknowledgement of Father's Day to our children and wanting them to appreciate their dads and to celebrate their dads. We should be able to separate the personal from the occasion. So just because your relationship went left and it went beyond and things got messy with y'all and whatever else is going on and he's not doing what he's supposed to be doing and not showing up for visitation and things like that, all those things, you have to put that to the side and you still have to instill in your child to acknowledge that you're that man for Father's Day.
Listen, we have to put it to the side
To the side.
because it can make you mad. It could piss you off that
It
the
really
other person
can.
is not doing their job and they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing, which they already know what it is that they're supposed to be doing because you didn't bring this child to this earth by yourself. It took somebody else to have, that relationship with you to get the baby here. You just didn't pop it out by yourself and made it and carried it.
And you don't want to be in a situation later on in life where your children, then as they get older and they start getting into their own relationships and situationships or whatever, or maybe even start having their own children, you don't want them to look back at you as their mother and have resentment towards you for why you didn't encourage me to reach out to my dad on Father's Day. Why didn't you? You don't want them to be like that. You don't want them to come back and bite you in the butt after the fact.
Big shout out to all the fathers on Father's Day. That is tomorrow. Yes. And I feel like y'all should celebrate it all month, all weekend. Yeah. I go in the store and I can't find a Father's Day gift. Or if we do, we look at Amazon or something. It's like a cup or
a mug,
t-shirt. I'm tired of the same gifts.
Yeah.
Y'all do something about this. Y'all really got to do something about it.
Here's my thing. It's like this right here. If the child is too young to understand that dad ain't doing what he should be doing, then that child is also too young to be programmed. Don't acknowledge dad. See, because if dad keep on not doing nothing, that child's gonna continue to grow. And at some point, that child ain't gonna have to be told your dad's a piece of crap or whatever. The child's gonna figure it out on their own. If that child is too young to know that, that means they're also too young to be programmed to look at dad a certain way. Period.
And you're already putting that feeling of hatred in their heart. And that's what I don't want. I don't want my kids to grow up and hate people and what I'm saying? Like, okay, your dad didn't do anything, but I don't want them to feel like that. You know what I'm saying? I want them to love. I want them to become the best father, the best husband. Just try to be the best they can be.
I have a question for both West and Bruno. What would be your ideal celebration of Father's Day? What would make you feel really appreciated and special on Father's Day from your children or from your family?
Yes, we want to know.
For me, it would just be a gathering. Just a gathering, just the people who love me, who I expect to, show me love on Father's Day, just a gathering and say, hey, here's a little get together, Dad, and it's for you. Some food, some music, my family around me, that would get it. I'll be good. Just that acknowledgement, just a gathering, family gathering, little cookout, little get together, in my honor. That's it. That's all.
I'm simple. I'm not even love food. I'm simple. Give me find me 12 dozen hot donuts, not 12 dozen, but 12 hot donuts from Krispy Kreme. I'm good. I don't want much. Yeah. I'm a food. Like, I'm a simple guy. Donuts, some milk.
To dunk the donuts in, the hot donuts, crispy donuts and that milk, that's delicious.
Oh my God. And I know it's gonna sound bad, and a 3-5. That's it. That's it. That is it.
Okay.
Right.
I got a question for y'all. Okay, we gonna end Father's Day with this because Brenda got a hot topic for us. Why is it important to be in your child? Why is it so important to you to be in your child's life?
Because I'm a father and I created this life. My job is to make my son or my daughter better than whatever I was. Here.
Yes.
So if I teach him what I know, that's why I'm glad I waited till I was in my 30s to have a kid. Because if I would have had a kid at 22, 23, my child would be jacked up. Because my morals were different then. So to teach them what I know at an early age, to show them, hey, if you do this, 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 and this, this is where it can get you. Because I started doing this and this late, and I'm just not getting here. You started now. Imagine what you'll be when you're my age. So
I
that's
agree
it.
with him. I agree with him totally on that.
Awesome. All right, Brenda, what you got for us?
So we are going to talk about what is really going on with Jamie Foxx. So we've all heard the reports. We all heard the news that Jamie Foxx was rushed to the Atlanta hospital back in April, just a couple of months ago, on set of a movie that he was filming here in Atlanta. There was very limited information that came out about why he was in the hospital. Just a statement posted that he was rushed to the hospital due to a severe medical complication. Then stories started to come out, stories started to pour out saying that he had suffered a stroke, that he had a blood clot in his brain. Then there was a story that surfaced and said that he got a blood clot after he got the COVID shot. Then we heard that he was left blind and he was left paralyzed. But yet there's stories floating around about him being out and about in restaurants, attending different events, and whether or not he's truly in control of his social media, if it's his daughter, Corinne Foxx, who's posting statements on his behalf, or if it's his PR team or whatever, posting comments and posting things just to keep the fans updated. Because there was a post after his hospitalization when they said that it most likely was a stroke that he had suffered and that he needed to be resuscitated. There was a post that went to his, that was from his Instagram page that said he appreciated all the love and support from his fans and his supporters. And most people don't believe that he genuinely wrote that post himself because he was incapable of doing so. So what do y'all think is really going on with Jamie Foxx? Is something really happening with him medically? Is this some kind of PR stunt because he's got 2 new movies that he's promoting and a show that's about to be airing on television? Or is something really wrong with him? He's just trying to maintain his right to privacy and not disclose his medical conditions. What do y'all think?
I'm gonna say this. I would say this. My heart goes out to that man and his family because they are in the middle of something that's much worse than what's being said. And it's not so much of medical this or that. Look, just like my homeboy out of Bessemer, Alabama, he claims the east side of Atlanta, named Gucci Man. Look, Gucci Man from Bessemer, Alabama, but he's been to East Atlanta a long time, right? But when Gucci Man went to prison, he never came out. That ain't him. That's not him. Not him. That ain't Gucci.
That's Gucci Man.
It's a stand-in. And same thing with Jamie. Jamie walk up out of there. That ain't Jamie no more.
Right.
And that's what I believe. I believe that. And you know what he did. He know what he said. He know what he said. He know who he was talking about. And the guy that he was talking about, he's one of them guys up there. He's one of them guys up there. And this ain't nothing new. They've been doing this down the third. They've been doing this. So it's my take until they show me something different. You know, we got a saying now, make it make sense. Nothing about this Jamie Foxx makes sense, right? So
it doesn't
for
make
me, simplicity is the key for me. I'm gonna keep it simple. If Mr. Fox walks up out of there, it's not him.
I'm glad you said that. 100% with you, Mr. West. I'm glad you said it because I didn't want to seem like the crazy conspiracy theory. I was like, yeah, this ain't got nothing to do with what we think it is. That man's probably not sick. It probably ain't him. He is, I guarantee you by now, if that's him, he's gone.
Right.
I'm going to tell you this, Brenda. The first report was somebody was attempting to kill him.
Yes.
I always stick with the first report because now they're trying to like say, oh, it was the vaccine. It was this. It was that.
Like you said,
math ain't mathing here in this whole situation. And the whole make it make sense. It's not making sense. We do know that there was, different situations, different events, different parties, different social circles that Jamie Foxx was hanging around in, and he's witnessed things and he's seen things, and it may be a situation in which they were trying to silence him so that he didn't speak on these things that he witnessed and that he saw, and they're trying to hush him up and keep him quiet. And that's something that is circulating around rather rampantly a lot these days, especially since now they're talking about, oh, he's fine. He was out playing pickleball. He was out at this restaurant. He was out at this opening. And I don't believe that, that all that is true. I just don't believe that.
Honestly, I don't believe that, because I feel like you can't just come out and say that and then go back ghost.
Right.
We have not heard anything of Jamie Foxx coming out and actually speaking.
Nope.
If he was playing if he was playing all of this stuff and he was good, don't you think he would come out and give a statement? Like,
right.
I don't think people are gonna let this one go just because it's been going on for too long.
Yeah, since
It
April.
has.
His publicist. I'm gonna show you something.
First off, I just got one question. Who really plays pickleball? Who really plays pickleball on an offset chance? I'm just asking because that just sounds like some made up stuff to me. Like he was out playing pickleball. Who plays pickleball?
I did see a video of him getting the pickleball and stuff, but
yeah,
I don't know. I just feel like she was probably either it wasn't her or the family is keeping quiet because
if they say something, they're gonna cut.
Because they next. No, because they will be next. They got strict orders. They got strict orders, and they better not deviate from them, or they will be next.
These are just allegations, speculations. So
yeah.
Let me say this. Let me say this, guys. It's red flags. Let's look at the red flags. Number one, first red flag for me. I'm doing a movie. The movie makers are telling me I got to take a test, but it's against my belief, whatever. This is Jamie Foxx. He can say, forget that movie. I don't take COVID, and I'm not gonna take it.
Exactly.
Why would he take a test? This is Jamie Foxx. This is an Oscar winner, Academy Award winner.
Right.
He don't have to get that movie. Forget that movie. Right. That's number one red flag.
Yeah.
Even
number two.
I'm walking off. I'm not doing.
Right.
She done.
It's because Jamie was the one that brought her. Jamie was the one that recruited her to be in that movie and was like, it's time for you to get back on the movies, and I want you to do this movie with me. And now that he's not doing it, and they have a body double or a stunt double filling in and finishing the scenes that he's not able to finish because we don't know. Where is he? Because we don't know if he's laid up in a hospital somewhere in a coma or
somewhere.
Or second red flag. The second red flag is this. Watch this. This is the second red flag. Why is it that look at the proximity, look at the time from the time he made that statement about whoop-de-whoop until he got hospitalized? Why you got to look at this stuff. It's really a smoking gun. It's like evidence, like a trail.
It was like 2 days from the time that he made the statement to the time that the announcement was that he had a medical complication. 2 days.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Make it make sense.
He said, make it make sense.
I look at the red flag.
And we know
it makes sense.
And like I said, we all know the stories are starting to come out. We all know that man got power. We know we really believe that he took out two of our favorite artists. Like there is a whole conspiracy behind him in that.
Right.
And said none of us want to say his name because I don't even acknowledge his name.
Right. But we don't want to speak that into existence.
Right. But we know this guy has some ties to some otherworldly stuff that we're not trying to participate in.
Exactly.
And so who decided to open his mouth? And he stayed, and for him to do it, I had to be honest with you, the man was brave as hell because he knew he should have known what the consequences were.
He did. He knew.
I can tell you now, like I said, I told you I did music earlier. I've been in that office. I've read that contract. That contract is serious. That contract ain't you show it on the TV where it's 3 pages and you sign. That contract is 150 to 200 pages long. And it details everything. Who's going to control where you go, who's going to control what you wear, what you say, what you do. That contract fills it all. And you literally have to go up there and prick your finger and dot that piece of paper.
Yeah.
See, they're controlling the narrative. They're controlling the narrative right now.
The SACRI.
Yeah.
They're controlling the narrative right now. Okay, now watch this. That guy who knows them upper room people, that guy, I watched his ceremony, whatever achievement award ceremony they did. I watched the whole thing. It was last year. I watched the whole show. At the end of the show, I guess nobody else peeped it but me. At the end of the show, he was putting up on the screen behind him like he was saying condolences, right, to people he loved that are gone. But just make it make sense. Everybody who popped up there was dead, and it was like this with him at one point.
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, he put it right in he put it right there. I miss this person, and I sure miss that person, and every face came on the screen. You did it, buddy. You're the one who did it. Cool.
We know you did it.
How many,
From that baby mama. From that baby mama.
So many people die around you.
Everybody. It can't be coincidence. It can't be coincidence.
Everybody that you sign to your label is like one hit, that's it.
One hit, that's it. And then they find themselves in some kind of legal entanglement, some kind of trouble, some kind of, something involving them being sent off to jail.
Nobody has left Bad Boy unscarred.
Right.
I mean, it's just it's
just dirty. It's just dirty. Something don't smell right.
Look, Jamie has publicists. If Jamie was well enough to go play pickleball, his publicist would have told him it's time to make a statement. Okay?
Right.
Yeah, he would
Come on,
already
make
the camera by now.
Come on, man.
Instagram post, an Instagram video, TikTok, something. But
yeah, his publicist would have told him you got
putting out there that they have a stunt for his movie. So just know that's not Jamie.
They have a body double filling in for his scenes.
Exactly. So just know they're already telling you,
right,
this is not Jamie.
Yeah. Right. So that man is locked up in a dungeon somewhere. He is in a cell.
You're right.
Somewhere locked up. Now, it might be a fashionable cell. Right. It might be everything you want in there. TV, video game, women, whatever is in there. But that man is not here.
He's not.
And if we do see him again, that ain't gonna be the same.
It ain't him. It's not him. It's a lookalike. And see, I'm just gonna stop right there. What
No, you telling the truth, bro. You telling the truth. Because like I said, I didn't want to seem like the crazy person. When you start talking like that, people look at you like you were saying you were a 10 act. I just understand that, like I said, I stepped my foot in that door. I've seen what can happen to you, and I know people that have been through that door and didn't come back.
Me too, bro.
So when you step, let's say, especially being from Birmingham, Atlanta ain't nothing but a hop, skip, and jump away. And it's a lot of Birmingham rappers and Birmingham artists who have made it to Atlanta, have signed deals that we know of, and you never hear from them again. Matter of fact, you never see them again.
Yeah.
So that world is we all know it's ungodly. Let's just be honest about it. It's ungodly. We know it's a sacrament. And the thing is, like I said, didn't Jamie start off with Old Buddy in the beginning with his first album?
I think so.
I know he shot some footage of the parties for him before Jamie got big. I know that.
And that's a favor for a favor.
Yep.
Say, look, if nobody paid attention to the Super Bowl and the Grammys and understand how it relates to what we're talking about, they let you know what's going on. If anybody watched that Grammy and the Super Bowl, those themes mirrored each other. The Super Bowl theme was all red and flames and triangles, and so was the Grammy. Yeah. I watched them both. With my third eye.
Back in Action was paused from the beginning. Like that movie had so much shit going on. From the beginning, the movie has been cursed from the start of the movie.
People leaving the set, people getting fired, them demanding people take COVID vaccines and not wanting to take the COVID vaccines, people walking off set, discrepancies about pay. I mean, it's just been a hot ass mess from the beginning. And Cameron Diaz is like, that's it, I'm done, I'm out.
Yeah, I'm done. Like, she was tired of the shit.
Yeah, I'm done. Goodbye.
That's why she left the first time.
I didn't come out of retirement for this
left
shit.
the first time.
You see, I didn't come out of retirement for this shit. I was retired. I was fine being at home with my baby. I was fine. I was chilling.
Right. I really don't believe it was retirement. I really believe that favor was
everybody got to get a COVID shot. Everybody got to get the COVID shot. But they got regular COVID. They don't know this is a cocktail for this dude right here, though, under the guise of a COVID shot. This is a cocktail mixed up just for him.
I think some of these stories are definitely staged to divert the people from what really happened to him.
Right.
Yes.
Yep.
I think they're coming up with all type of shit just to get people to think more and try to get their brain working on some other type of shit that happens. I feel like
a diversion.
It's a smoke screen. It's a smoke screen, bro. It's a smoke screen.
Talking about the vaccine and stuff like that. I mean, you know of people who had bad luck with that vaccine, but ain't nobody finna make me take nothing I don't want to take.
Right?
No.
And he wouldn't have. Can't we see he's a stand-up guy? Can't we see?
But I'm just saying.
Right.
Look, Jamie's a stand-up guy, man. Jamie's a stand-up guy. If he had enough nerve to get up and say what he said about whoop-de-whoop, then he got enough nerve to say, I ain't taking your test and go home.
Exactly. Like, right. And he got the money to say no. So
right. And he walked away from the movie. Absolutely.
It was set up.
Then guess what else they did? Hey, Bruce, you know, they tried to bring up a drug use on Jamie from 10 years ago. Drug use. They use it everything. Any excuse.
Because they're trying to create a diversion. I mean, and if Jamie walked from that movie, if he walked away from that movie because he refused to get the COVID vaccine, there's insurance for that. So the production company and the film company, there's insurance policies on actors every time that you go to do a movie in case something happens, in case there's injury, in case you can't complete the movie or what have you. So if Jamie made his decision that he did not want to get that vaccine and he left that set, and that was his business. But then how is it 2 days later, they're talking about he got the vaccine and now he's in the hospital with a medical complication. Now it's a stroke. Now he's in a medically induced coma. Now he's blind and he's partially paralyzed. Like it just doesn't make sense. All these things happening within 48 hours of him saying, I don't want to take this vaccine.
I'm looking at it like this. The name of that movie says it all. And then to bring back the whole action of COVID, like you saying, back in action. Then you got to bring up the COVID, and we already know what that smoke screen was with that. And they're going to try to do it again. This time it's going to be a different disease, but it's going to be linked to COVID, and that's how they're going to push it because their job is to make sure that we stay from watching them. The last time they put something major, old girl went to jail. The one that was supposed to be with Epstein. She went to jail and had her trial. Yep. That was supposed to be national news. Something major happened in between of that, and we never knew it. Then 2-3 weeks later, we're hearing, oh, she's in jail at such and such and such and such. Like, no, hold up. She was supposed to spill out the names of everybody that was on that list. And everybody that was on that list, that's the one reason why Epstein got killed, because he was going to basically rat on everybody.
He was.
So he had to go. So now they
dead in his cell.
Right. So now you want to go out there and work a deal with this lady, and she said, I'm not going to tell. I guarantee you that woman is in probably on Epstein Island right now with everything she wants. Chill.
Yep.
And also a lot of people have came out and spoke about this. T.I. came out and spoke about it. Kevin Hart.
Yeah.
Cat Williams.
Yep.
Nick Cannon.
Yeah.
Yep.
They all trying to tell you something, they just can't.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Look, you know, old boy, again, we ain't gonna mention his name, but the feds just opened up a case on him because his baby mama's family said open up a case under her murder, her death.
Exactly, because it was real fishy. It's fishy.
Yeah.
Everything's sketchy. Everything's sketchy and suspect around this dude.
Yeah.
But he's gonna get away. But regardless of the fact, unless he pisses off that guy's gonna have to piss off the powers that be. Because right now, he's making them a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he's able to do what a lot of the other ones can't.
Yeah, he going with the program.
Right. And we know it's two major ones on the other side. We're just going to say one has a hive, one claims to be a supposed God.
Right.
We're not going to call no names, but we're just going to say them two, that power couple over there.
Right.
And then it's him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And as long as they do what they're supposed to, there's never going to be any action against them. Now, we're not going to say the government's not involved, but I will say there are people inside the government who are trying to protect the best interests of certain people. That doesn't mean all of them are a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I want to say this. Do you think the family's covering up, or do you think the family is just they're scared?
Scared
to death. Scared to death.
Because
they next and they know if they tremble and time, they can get ready to.
The only person that has spoken out has been his daughter, Corinne Fox. And she keeps saying that there's a false narrative that's being put out there by the media. That's the only thing that she's saying. She's the only one that's speaking out. And she keeps talking about a false narrative being put out by the media. Don't believe everything that you read. Don't believe everything you hear.
And don't be surprised that she end up like Bobby Whitney.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, she's a puppet right now. That's a script, and she better keep reading it.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me get somewhere quiet.
Yeah.
So he's not speaking. We don't know where Jamie is.
We don't know where he is. We just hope that he's.
Did y'all realize it hasn't been a sighting of him legit since it happened? A real sighting. Somebody said, I put my eyes on. It's not been a sighting of him since it happened. It's been taught. It's been taught, but ain't nobody put no eyes on it.
No satellite photo, no snapshot, no paparazzi shot, no nothing.
How you gonna keep paparazzi away? What?
Right.
Exactly.
They get paid for that. You can't keep them away, but they're away. You see, they're away because who controls it?
Like I said, that man is either in a cave somewhere, or he's already asleep. Period. It's just either he's hidden or he's asleep.
Yep.
They just keep
and
saying
if they got all the things they need,
and blind. That's it.
They need so much of him. They need a certain amount of him to reconstruct another him, right? They need a certain amount of him to reconstruct the next him, right? Same thing with Gucci Mane. They needed so much of his physical to reconstruct another him. And that's all. If he's still around, Jamie, that's all it is. They're just reconstructing the new Jamie.
I mean, you signed that. Like I said, you signed that contract, homie. You know what you was doing when you jumped in that field. And some people are desperate enough over the shame of fame, and they want that kind of life. Because I ain't gonna say at one point in time when I was chasing music, I can't say I didn't want the same thing. But realizing what the heck you have to go through. And I know if you like I said, you've been through, you know, if you walk through any one of the major doors, it's about to be a change in your life. And it ain't gonna be for them. You ain't gonna be with your same friends. You're not gonna be with your family. You're gonna be around the people that they want you to be around. They're gonna test you, they're gonna test you, and they're gonna test you. If you pass that test, they're gonna put it in front of you. Once they put it in front of you, if you say yes, from that point on, you the man.
Right.
Say, Adolph, that dude is a dude out of Tennessee. It's a dude out of Tennessee. Hot rapper was out named Adolph.
I remember
a little bit before his demise, he turned down a $22 million deal from a major, and it wasn't long after that they got him. He took the deal and he said he threw, and that was a slap in the face to a major label. They offered him
Wow.
22 million. He said, man, your 22 million don't move me. And he threw it back at him. I'm not signing. I don't want your money. I'm good. And look what happened. Talk about it.
Yeah.
You can't say no to them people. You can't. They want you.
We don't know what's going on with Jamie. We just hope that hopefully he's well. Hopefully he's safe. We want to hear from him. Jamie, we're reaching out to you to hear from you directly from your own mouth. We want to lay eyes on you physically somewhere. Seeing you, if it's pickleball, then let that be that picture. Show us that.
Yeah, show us that. Yeah.
We want to know that you're not blind and you're not partially paralyzed and that you're okay. And if you decided to walk away from that movie, that's fine too. We're not
And
gonna
it's
be mad.
crazy how everybody in his family is saying, well, you know, Kareem came out and said, okay, he's fine.
Right.
He even was playing pickleball. But then you hear all the artists saying, pray for Jamie, pray for Jamie. So obviously
and prepare for the worst.
What's
And they're
going
saying
on.
prepare for the worst. They keep saying
And they
prepare
can't say.
Right.
They can't say.
Oh, because Jamie Foxx is about to be replaced. He's going to sleep. They're gonna push this off for a minute. Kind of like how they did Michael Jackson. Remember, Michael Jackson was supposedly in this coma state, and then all of a sudden he died. Same thing with Tupac. Same way with Biggie.
But they all really think Tupac dead? Because I don't.
I don't know. That dude from Jurassic 5 really does look like him.
I mean,
that
I'm
got
just
to be
saying,
him.
I guess I
To
want
me,
him
that
to
got
be
to be him.
alive so bad. A lot of people want him to be alive so bad. They be like, he ain't dead. I don't think he's dead.
I don't know.
See,
It's suspicious as hell because think about it, how he died. They said, because remember, the report said he was okay, that he was going to pull through. Then, like 12 hours later, he was dead.
Yeah. He's dead. Yeah.
For me, you got to see the writings on the wall. For me, you got to see the writing on the wall. Tupac said this 1,000 times before it even happened, and he even told him, "I'm going to do this." Machiavelli. Everybody know the story of the real Machiavelli. Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, I got this to say too though. Did y'all see the letter Willow wrote to Tupac that said, "My mama needs you." Tupac, I know you're. He said, "I know you're alive." She said, "I know you're alive."
Right. My mom needs you. They were best friends. Tupac and Jada were best friends.
You don't think Jada, if Tupac is alive, I guarantee you Jada done smashed that dude already.
Well, yeah.
You know what?
She was in
They
love.
got Jada.
Yeah.
They already got Jada. They got Jada. She's in there, and I'm gonna show you who else they just recently got. And I hate it so bad because she just got here. Glorilla. They already got her.
No, the one that hurt me the most was Janelle Monáe, because Janelle Monáe at least stood for something. But when she started popping up in movies, I was like, "Yep, it's coming." Yeah. And then the next thing you know, titty pics, and I'm like, "Yeah, they got her."
And then remember, like right before this, it was also said about DC Young Fly, his wife. Was it his wife? Was he married to her?
Yeah.
No. Oh, he was?
No. Yeah, I think so. I think they were engaged and getting married, but I think they were married.
I don't think
they were married. All of these stories keep popping up back to back.
Yeah.
There's a cover up. He had to sacrifice somebody too, but they told him you got too close. You picked the wrong one.
Hello, Mr. Carter. Can you hear us now? You got good signal? Can he hear us?
I don't think so.
I
don't think so.
Going out.
Well, I didn't have anything else as far as the topic for Jamie Foxx was concerned. I think, gentlemen, it has been a pleasure talking to you guys about Father's Day and getting insight from some actual fathers.
Exactly.
It's a pleasure to have gentlemen in the building with us for this podcast. So we thank you so much for being our guests. And I'm going to sign off saying a happy Father's Day to you both. I hope you enjoy it, spend it however you want to spend it, doing the things that you enjoy doing the most. That's going to bring you joy on this day that you should be celebrated on.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Yes. Happy
I'd love to do it
Father's
again.
Day.
Yeah, call me anytime back in, guys. You know I'll be glad to come in. I thank you for having me, and I'm always willing.
Thank you, Mr.
you.
West. You've been with us from the start. Thank you, Bruno,
Yeah.
for joining in. And I
Yeah.
really appreciate it. Mr. Carter, he didn't have good reception, so I guess he wasn't able to join us this episode. But
maybe next
hopefully in the future, he
Yep.
can do it.
Yes.
Well, y'all have a
All
great
right,
day.
y'all.
All right, y'all. Bye and happy
See you all
Father's
next
Day.
week.
Bye-bye.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.